Hello and welcome to Nana's Crafty Home. My name is Tanya. Today's tutorial is going to show you how to crochet the DC All Day Beginner Triangle Scarf that you can find as a free pattern on my website. This is a beginner-friendly pattern. The only stitch we're going to be using throughout this entire scarf is going to be a double crochet stitch. And the other great thing about this is a one-row repeat pattern. The original pattern on my website is made with the Yarn Bee Rainbow Rhapsody yarn, which is actually a size 1 super fine. And what I did with that is I made this with 2 strands of this yarn together. So pulling from the center as well as working with the strand on the end. I basically cut these into 2 cakes and worked the strands together. So working those 2 strands together, starting at different colors for both, I ended up with this really lovely gradient colorway, merging those 2 colors together. For today's tutorial, I'm going to actually be using 1 strand of Caron Cotton Cakes, and that is a medium worsted weight yarn. Now the great thing about this pattern is that you can use any size weight yarn that you would like. You can use a lighter weight like I did, double it up. You could use a larger weight yarn. The only difference you're going to end up with is your scarf is going to either grow more slowly or faster than mine would, depending on the size weight that you're using. You're also going to want to use a hook that corresponds with the size weight yarn. I have a worsted weight and I'm using a size H or a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook, which corresponds to the weight that I'm using here. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slip knot, get my yarn on my hook to get started. And I'm going to begin with a chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to be working 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets in that 4th chain from the hook. So that 4th chain, if you count over from your hook, is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's that first chain that you made. Those skipped chains, so those 3 skipped chains here, are going to count as my first double crochet or my first stitch. So I'm going to, all in the same chain, work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets, all in that same chain. You could also use a magic circle and work 3 double crochets. So you'd probably want to do a chain 3, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all in that magic circle. But I'm going to be completing that 3rd double crochet, all in that same chain. So you can see here that I have 3 stitches because those skipped chains count as my first stitch or my first double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2 corner space, and then 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets. So I have 6 double crochets for row 1. Every row is going to increase by 6 double crochet stitches. So that's an easy way for you to keep track. Every row is going to increase by 6 for your stitch count, and you will always have a chain 2 corner space for every row. So for row 2, I'm going to chain 3, turn and chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and double crochet in that same stitch. So at the base of that chain 3, I'm going to work a double crochet in that same stitch. So that double crochet is worked in the top of that last double crochet from the previous row. So chain 3, double crochet in that same stitch, and now I'm going to double crochet in each stitch until I get to that chain 2 corner space. So double crochet in the next stitch and in the next. And in that chain 2 corner space, I'm going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 double crochets, all worked in that chain 2 corner space. So 1 double crochet, 2, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, all worked in that chain 2 corner space. Now I'm going to work a double crochet in each stitch until I get to the last stitch. And my last stitch is going to be worked in the top of that turning chain 3 from that previous row. So in this situation, those were those skipped chains from the previous row. So double crochet in each stitch. And then in your last stitch, top of that chain 3, you're going to work 2 double crochets. So let's take a look. So I should have 6 double crochets here, chain 2, and 6 more double crochets for a total stitch count of 12 double crochets plus my chain 2 corner space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That chain 3 at the beginning of each row as you work throughout this pattern will count as your first stitch of each row. So for row 3, I'm going to turn, and we're repeating row 2 throughout the rest of this pattern. So you're going to chain 3, work a double crochet at the base of that chain 3 in that same stitch, and then work a double crochet in each stitch until that chain 2 corner space. And when you get to that chain 2 corner space, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, all worked in that chain 2 space. So there's 1, 2, chain 2, 2 double crochets in that same space. And then we're going to work a double crochet in each stitch to the last stitch. So double crochet in every stitch. And when we get to the last stitch, which is that chain 3, the end, you're going to work 2 double crochets in the top of that chain 3. So we should have 18 stitches total plus my chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And it's as easy as that. You're going to continue repeating row 2 to the size desired in your pattern. So that means if you want to use these triangles in another pattern, just work them to the size desired for that pattern. In fact, I am using this in an upcoming design where I am creating these double crochet triangles and putting those together to create a pocket scarf, and that pattern will be coming out soon. Otherwise, if you're just making a double crochet triangle scarf to wear, you're just going to want to continue repeating until the size desired is achieved. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. Thanks so much for being with me. As always, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you never miss a new video. Thanks everyone for being here. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.